Well, Josh, nice to see you. And in capacity, I guess, as interim manager for one game only, I take it you didn't expect this.
No, I definitely didn't expect this. Yesterday morning when I spoke to Charlie, and then subsequently spoke to the chairman, I definitely didn't expect it. But yeah, it's the way the season's been, really, isn't it? And well, we just got to give it our best going into Saturday. Sunday. I don't really know. There's not really much else I can say on it, really.
It's certainly been a roller coaster of a season, not just on the pitch, but of course off it. I mean, what have you made of everything that's gone on at Yeovil Town this season?
It's definitely going to be one to look back on, isn't it? I think there'll be some book deals ready to go, but it's just another strange turn of events which has happened this year, and probably has led to why we are where we are in the league. But yeah, I don't think there's any way I can really explain it. I definitely, if you'd have spoke to me at the beginning of the season, I definitely didn't see it ending this way, and I think it's just important now us players go out and try and keep the pride of the club, really, and show the fans we're still in it, even though everything's kind of being thrown all over the place at the moment.
And we must mention Charlie, mustn't we? Because you were out injured, you assisted him on the sidelines. He did a really good job in a tough spell, didn't he?
Yeah, well, Charlie's one of a kind, really. We saw that as a player when he was here, and he came back in and took the reins at a very, very difficult time after Darren left, and he done well. And I think the boys enjoyed playing for him. We were playing a nice, probably a bit more attacking style of football. We were learning his way of doing things, and it's sad to see him go, to be honest, because he done really well, and he had the full backing of all the players. And I think it's important I just go out and say thanks from my perspective as a player, and what he done for me whilst I was injured, getting back fit. For every player in that change room who's really enjoyed working under him. Training's been exciting, and Jody, who came in and helped. They've both been a really uplifting spirits at a difficult time for the club, and I think it's like, I know myself, I'm very grateful for what Chaz done, and I know I'll speak on behalf of the rest of the boys by saying we all thank him, and it's sad to see him go.
And you're just 26 years old, but it must be a bit of a compliment to you, the way you are sort of on the pitch, off the pitch, the influence that you've been entrusted for this final game of the season.
Yeah, I think I think it's probably best for a bad bunch. No, yeah, it's nice. It's nice to be given have that level of respect, and be trusted that much to take the club. It's obviously it's a bit of a daunting situation, and I'll lean on the older boys, and I think it's not just going to be me. It'll be the team. Scott Wickens will step up and help me. Got young Matt who does the 18s, and all the rest of the staff are we're all gonna dig in and get there together, because there's a lot what goes into a match day which behind closed doors which we don't really see as a player or as a fan, and there's definitely, well, hopefully we won't miss anything out, but it's all about now just setting up right for Sunday the best we can, picking there's boys who might have niggles, so we've got to pick up the squad and work on getting right for Sunday, really.
And what have you said to the team ahead of Sunday? Do you have sort of a team talk in mind, or are you just going to do things as normal and just be in the dugout?
To be honest, they're not actually in yet. So I spoke to them yesterday. I spoke to a few of the boys, the older boys, on the phone yesterday, and put a message in a group chat. But everyone's in at 1 today, and I'll get them all in, and just basically I'm just trying. It's all about now just trying to keep the levels of respect for each other, the club, because it's very easy when things like this happen for things just to get silly, really. And in a way, I'm quite grateful it's only 3 days, because there's always the chance that players' futures are undecided. So you never. Basically, I'll be speaking to the players and just asking for their commitment for 3 more days, and don't push any limits. We treat it like we would if there was a senior manager in place. Obviously, I'm not all of a sudden going to become a iron fist manager, but I'm still one of the players, and it makes it difficult for me, really. But it's something I have to I'll take responsibility for, and hopefully we'll go into Sunday, and I know as a group of players we'll treat it respectfully, and the staff will be excellent, and it's just about trying to do everything as professional as you can, even though things don't really look that professional from the outside.
Right, as you say, contracts are sort of running out. The new manager is appointed. You're going to meet him next week. Have you been consulted about that? Have you spoken about your contract for next season?
We've had early talks, but I think it was a very difficult conversation to have all the time. There wasn't a manager decided because, like any other player in the team, you don't know if a manager's going to like you, and it's hard to have any serious kind of talks until that man who makes the decisions is in place, really. But I think that will now happen for the whole squad early. I hope for the boys early next week once the new manager's announced and things can start getting a plan can start being put in place for next season, because I think it's important for not just for myself but for everyone involved in the club that we have something to look forward to. We can start planning for next year and start looking forward to next season, because otherwise this will end the way it has, and it's not going to be the most. We just need an uplifting thing. So hopefully next week announcements can happen and situations will depend on what the new manager sees and wants for the club.
And how important is it for you, Luke Wilkinson, Mark Little, all those sort of senior players, to just take those young players and under your wing, particularly for the last game of the season, to try and finish on a high?
Yeah, I think that's key. We've been trying. We've relied a lot on the experienced players this year to lift a young squad, and I think it's just a case of one last push at it. And like you say, it'd be nice to end the season with a high. And obviously, Charlie put a strong team out on Tuesday, and some of the young lads missed out their opportunity to play in the final. But I think that was Charlie's idea. He wanted to end the season on a high, because we wanted to have something to show for this season. We now have a cup, however small, but we have an opportunity now to go and end the season. There's nothing to lose really for us. Neither team are playing anything, so we can play with a freedom which we definitely wouldn't have if we had a manager. So all I'm going to ask from the boys is to just give it 100%. At the end of the day, everyone's playing for themselves really. We're playing for the club, but it's a chance to showcase themselves, and I think I'm desperate to go out on a high. I'll be giving everything I've got to put the team out to win on Sunday, because it's always nice to end the season on a positive note, and it's quite uplifting going into the next one.
And we've spoken a lot this season, haven't we, about the travelling support in particular, really, really strong from Yeovil Town fans. What can they expect if they're travelling to Altrincham?
I think it's just going to be a very committed performance. I think I definitely won't be putting a team out just to go through emotions, because that's not how I would like to go out at Yeovil in the last game of the season. I don't think it's right for any football club to do that. So it's a chance for the boys to play with freedom, express themselves, try things they maybe wouldn't usually try in the right areas of pitch, of course. But I think it's a chance for us to try and put on a show to say thank you for the supporters who've stuck by us all year, because there's been some real low points this year, and never have they turned on us, especially away from home. The support's been excellent. They've really travelled some long miles to stick by us, and hopefully we can put on a performance for them, get a result for them, because I think the club deserves it, in all honesty.
And you can finish as high as 12th with everything that has gone on. You're the third man in the dugout this season, ups and downs, as you say, runs of good form, runs of bad form. Would that be progress? And is that something you as a squad can be proud of, the way you've reacted to everything?
I think it definitely shows some sort of resilience and bounce back factor throughout the squad, because there was periods where it didn't look like that, but then you swing it the other way and say, well, there was periods where we looked much better than 12th or 13th. So it's going to be one of them seasons when you reflect on it. It could have gone either way. It was kind of on a knife edge, and unfortunately, it didn't go the way everyone wanted it to. I thought that around Christmas time there was a chance the squad was built to go and push for playoffs. We didn't build on what we had, and unfortunately it's kind of petered away. But I think the commitment levels have been there from the boys. I'm proud of how the young boys have battled this season, because, as you say, there's been a lot of moments. There's been some crazy things happen this season, which I definitely haven't experienced in my career, and some of them young lads will definitely have learnt a lot from it. So it's all about taking that forward now, and hopefully it puts the club in good stead next year, because anyone who stays will have a lot of life and football experience from this season.
And we should talk about the game that's coming up, Altrincham. The home game was a bit of a disappointment, I seem to remember, struggling to score goals in that little period. I'm guessing you know what they're about. They've got a very good home record. You're going to have to take the game to them, aren't you?
Yeah, it was I think it was a disappointing night, because I think the goalie went off early, didn't they? Centre half, something along them lines. So we that was a disappointing night, because we dominated the ball but we just couldn't score. To be honest, I'll be going in. Obviously now we'll lose that kind of analytical edge because we've lost Jody and Charlie. So I think it might be quite refreshing for the group. It's going to be like youth. Well, we have to treat it like we're going in blind. Essentially, we'll have little snippets on them, but we haven't got the staff or we haven't got the staff to all the time to really dig into them and delve into what they do properly. So it'd be quite nice, I think, for the boys just to focus on us, go out, focus on us, work on what we do, focus on trying to score some goals, and as you say, take the game to them. But in all honesty, we'll be going in a bit blind. I think I know roughly what shape they play, but I think if I try and overcomplicate it, us as a group try and overcomplicate it, it's not going to be one of them games for us. It's a chance to really just let everything go for the season, hold nothing back, and see where it takes us, kind of thing.
And just lastly from me, you played on Tuesday, having had your operation. Are you going to be playing yourself, or are you just going to watch it?
Do you know what, Sheldon? That's a hard question. It's been going over and over in my head. I was a bit sore on Tuesday after. Obviously, it was only 2 weeks after the operation, but I feel better now. I'm still a bit stiff in my legs after not playing for a while, but it's a big decision. It's I'll set the team up the best way I can to try and win the game, and if that means I have to be on the sideline to try and watch over things, that will have to be the case, because it's definitely going to be it might be a bit tricky to manage and play on your first game. I don't know, but I'll see. I'll have to look at the team, like what players we have available, and just try and put the strongest 11 out, because it's not like we're going to go out there and have a party. We're going to go and try and get a job done. And in all honesty, I haven't thought if I'll play myself. It will be a case of whatever's best for the team and go with the strongest outfit we can get out, really.
Well, I think I speak for all Yeovil Town fans. I say really good luck for Sunday, and you're doing a great job stepping up.
Yes, thank you very much. Yes.
Well then, Josh.
AD.
Man, hey, can't be bad. A bit of a baptism of fire, though, really. Altrincham, not the easiest team to play, especially up north as well.
Yeah.
Travel up there.
Yeah. But
could do with a nice soft one, really, like Dover or something, couldn't you?
Oh, there's no soft games in this league, AD. There really isn't. But look, it's helpful that we're both in similar situations. When this game would be a lot more daunting if we were playing someone who's got something to play for, a relegation, someone scrapping relegation, or someone fighting to get in the playoffs or winning the league, because that would be a lot more. It'd be a lot more of a daunting challenge because you owe it to the league to try and be the integrity of the league, to put out the strongest team and ensure everyone does everything properly. So in actual fact, I'm quite grateful it's a team who is in a similar position to us. It's definitely not going to be an easy game, but I'll express to the boys there's absolutely no pressure on them. There's no one from the outside is going to look in and say this. As long as we go out there and do everything we would do normally and treat it like a proper game, I think there's no expectation, and that can only do well for the group in this instance.
Does the fact that you know roughly what's going to happen now, I mean, a new manager apparently next week, does that sort of take a little bit of the uncertainty out of the equation, really? The fact that suddenly there's some positive action happening.
Yeah, I think until that man's announced, I think we're still just as uncertain, because, like I said to Sheridan, you don't know where you stand in that manager's plans, or what type of players he likes, or what types of football he likes. So it's very much up in the air until that announcement's made, and the players know we're all in the same boat, really. But it's definitely nice to see some forward planning. As I said to earlier, it's sad that Charlie won't be a part of it, because I think he's been a massive positive influence for the club. But that forward plan is nice. It's good to finally have some sort of clarity, and obviously we'll know more in the next couple of weeks. But hopefully it's an exciting time for Yeovil Football Club. I've got no idea.
Have you got any injury problems lined up, for Saturday? Sunday?
Not that I'm aware of. Yeah, as I said, the boys aren't in just yet. I think it'll depend on who trains today and who trains tomorrow. I'd imagine there'll be a couple of little niggles who might be struggling, as there always is, but I've absolutely no news, I'm afraid. So, mate, it's just been... I wasn't planning on being... I don't really keep up to date with the injury news until now. But,
a bit of a surprise, eh?
Yeah.
A bit of a surprise.
Yeah.
But at least you've got Big Luke to help you as well, which is, another plus sign.
Yeah, he's actually off ill today, so... he's struggling.
You've got him then.
Yeah, so I haven't got him right now, but no, hopefully he'll be back in the next couple of days. But like I said, Scott Wickens is a good lad. He'll give it his all, and he's ready to step up. All the staff are back the club to the death, so it's nice to have a whole group of staff, everyone pulling in the right direction for the last game. And there's all the old boys I can talk to. Do you know what I mean? I've got Litz, Ruben, all them boys, and everyone's going to be helping out really.
Well, let's hope that you can your managerial career can look like 100% win rate. Okay.
That'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Well, best of luck anyway, mate. I know you're doing your best.
Thanks, Eddie. Thanks, mate.
Thanks, mate.
How you doing, Josh? You okay?
Yeah, good, mate. You?
Yeah, not too bad, thank you. Does this give the players maybe some fresh impetus on Sunday? They've now got a new manager. Maybe they're not aware of yet, but they're going to have to play well to maybe get in the manager's mind to stay next season.
Yeah, I think I don't know if the manager will be there. I've absolutely no idea, but I think in football you're always showcasing yourself, and especially when there's contracts running out, I think the majority of that group will have known that situation, not just going into the last game, but that would have been on people's minds for the last couple of months. So obviously it's a chance to try and put a good light on your good light on your name for the new manager, but I don't think it boils down to one game. So, but it'll be a case for the boys. I'll say that to the boys. There's a chance to showcase yourself, and there's everyone out of contract. We'll all be playing for our futures, whether it be here or elsewhere. So it's important we don't just go and chuck the towel in, so to speak, and continue to do things properly on Sunday.
And how much have you learned yourself this season? Obviously, you played for the majority, got yourself injured, became assistant manager. You're now manager, and did that ultimately help you get through your injury as well?
Yeah, it's been a topsy-turvy season really. I think I probably first done my injury in January time. I think playing against Torquay, so I played for a couple of months injured, which was really hard, and I probably look back now, I think I shouldn't have done it, especially knowing the turnaround time of the operation now. I mean, I was ready to play after 2 weeks. If I'd have done that back in January, I would have missed 3 games, and that's probably something we'll all look back and learn from, rather than however many I've ended up missing due to the timing. So it's definitely been different, but whilst I was injured, that assistant manager role, so to help Charlie, was definitely a help. It gave me something to focus on and stopped me grovelling really about being injured. But I think in hindsight we probably would have done things differently this year. I would have probably gone in for surgery straight away, missed a couple of games and come back for the remainder of the season. But look, it is what it is, and I am where I am now. So it's more, the most important thing now is I do what's right by the club and by the rest of the boys, and keep everything as professional as possible for the next 3 days. I learnt a lot by working under Charlie and seeing how he done things. So I've now just got to try and carry that on. There's no time. I'm not going to be put my own stamp on it. I'll just be basically keeping everything as professional as I can, keep a lid on things, and then give it our best go we can on Sunday.
And like we said, this season's been a lot about how resilient this young team has been, and especially in a lot of their first seasons. Has there been any kind of standout performers in your mind?
Yeah, I think there's been periods where a lot of boys have done well. I think Mossy, we missed him. He had an excellent start to the season, and he was dependable as anything at right back. And but a lot of them boys have stood up. Charlie had a few very, very good months where he was really hot. struggled a bit with a bit of injury wise lately, a bit of fatigue, which is completely understandable in when you're that high explosive type of player in your first season. Knowles has had a really strong end to the campaign. Probably didn't get off to the greatest start like he wanted to, but he's picked up. He looks like the Knowlesy of last year now, and it's positive to see, and it's encouraging for the club going into next season. And he'll have learnt a lot about himself and football this year. All of them young lads will. I think Morgan's been excellent. Morgan's been terrific. He's been playing wherever he's needed to be. He looks like the Morgan I knew a few years back, and he's confident. He's on the front foot. He's a proper defender. Gives his all for the club, and he's a real leader out there. Obviously, you got Hunty, who's been out injured. Unfortunately, got injured again Tuesday. He's had a solid season. Looked reliable. He'll have learnt. He's had ups and downs throughout the season, but like we all have, but he'll have learnt from it. And at 23 years old, Morgs, they're all in a good position to push on next season. Sonny has had a good first season. I think, to be honest, all the young boys, they've stood up at top. I think it'd be very naive for us to sit here and expect them to be 9, 10 out of 10 performers each week, because that consistency of 7 out of 10s you gain over years and years. You understand how to play, and you understand when you're not quite on it and how to get through games. But they'll have learnt a lot this year. They've been needed a lot in a lot of games. They've been needed an awful lot, which will only benefit them. And hopefully they'll have learnt a lot, and hopefully they've learnt off us older boys and how we do things. But they've been key figures in our squad, and we'd definitely be in a worse place without them this year. So I'm proud of them all.
Finally, tomorrow, obviously, the fans get to welcome back Darren and Terry and Charlie for the Legends game, coming together for the Adam Stansfield Foundation, which would be a great occasion. Are either players going to be available at the game
I don't. Back well, my first job as manager was trying to sort arrangements out for tomorrow, and unfortunately, I think we've got to leave before the game just due to coach plans, hotel plans, which will be a shame. But hopefully, we'll get. I think the bus is leaving around 1 o'clock, so hopefully, we'll be in a position to see and meet everyone who's come back to the club and meet the legends who are playing in the game. So it'll be, hopefully there's an opportunity. Unfortunately, we just miss out on the game by a couple of hours on the timing of things, which is disappointing. But it's a great day for the club. It's a great day for the charity and the memory of the young lads. So it'll be a really, really nice way for Yeovil to finish the season as a club and as a community, because I think there's been ups and downs. That is definitely going to be, the way the season's turned out, is definitely going to be one of the highlights of the season, which is nice because it's a game for all the right reasons. There's a lot of well-known, well-respected people coming back for it, and yeah, I'm definitely disappointed. I think a lot of the group are disappointed we can't be there, but look, it's fantastic for the club.